Hey, this is Jeff again with the Valhalla Ventures, ReidGuideService.com, ReidGuideService.com. Want to do a real quick shop talk video on my crappy dry erase board here, talking about 99% fail, because 1% is the exception to the rule, right? 1% are the people that do everything. They go above and beyond. They are the pros, the experts. The things that you see on social media, they aren't the norm. They're the 1%, which means 99% fail, which is interesting to me because this is what most people are trying to do, which is what everybody else is doing. But if you're doing what everybody else is doing, then you are part of that 99% that's going to fail. So that's a little bit of what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the options in real estate, whether or not you want to do, single family type deals. If you're more of a multifamily type of person, see, I like that monopoly style of multifamily, right? But what kind of style of investment are you into? How do you find these properties? I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of stuff that goes into how to be involved in real estate investing. It's hard to explain to someone who doesn't really know a whole lot. A lot of people think that, you just go out, you find a property that slightly undervalued, you use that equity to go as a down payment. That down payment is then given to the bank. You buy a property, you rent it out, boom, bam, bing, you're making money. But there's just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of numbers that you have to learn, because without the numbers, you don't know if this thing is going to be just something that you're dumping cash into, or if it's dumping cash into you, which is kind of the whole goal, right? Like, you don't want to spend your entire life just financing and financing and financing all these different properties without getting anything. Oops, that's not a dollar symbol at all. Without getting anything back. The goal is money. The goal for you might not be $1 million a month. Your goal might be, I want to pay my bills. I want to be able to take a vacation once a year. I want to be able to live comfortably. That might be your goal, and I think that's a very admirable goal for passive income. So in order for you to do that, you got to figure out, okay, what is every month? What is my list of bills that I have to pay to survive? My taxes, my insurance, my food, my cell phones. What is it that I have to pay to survive and to live? What's the basics, okay? And figure out what that is. Then you have like extra stuff, like, do you want a new car? Or do you want to just figure in every month you're paying $500 towards a car? I mean, figure these things out that are priority. I'm not making suggestions. I'm not making agreements here saying you should have a new car. I personally have not had a car payment in well over 10 years. But that's just a personal choice. I have a nice vehicle. I pay to keep it maintained. Then I don't feel the need to have a brand new vehicle. That's just a personal choice. But you need to figure out what those things are. Figure out what that dollar amount is, because that's the starting point. If it's 10K, then getting 10K worth of passive income every single solitary month to drop in your inbox is essentially what your goal is. Now that's a lot, and that's a lot of work. And now what you need to also decide is, how hard would it be to reduce this number? Because the faster you can also reduce this number, it's going to be faster for you to achieve these drops that meet that number. Because if it's obviously going to take twice as long as if you had 5K that you needed in drops, right? Or to scale, whatever. It's not an exact science. That's why I said there's so many numbers that factor in. So we're just saying in mass generalizations here. But if your bills are 10 grand a month and you're trying to replace that income, it's going to be harder. It's going to be twice as hard, just mathematically speaking, as if your bills are 5K a month. So figure out first and foremost, the priority, I think, is how to get this number down. What is this actual number? What is something that you can comfortably live on? Because I'm telling you right now, once you get to that point and you get that, let's just say you dropped it from that to that, and you get this, it's really nice to have those 5K drops that are paying your bills every month. Where now you get to focus on, how do I get those drops to 10K? How do I spend my effort not figuring out how to pay my 5K worth of bills every month because those drops right here are paying it. So instead of dealing with life and having to come up with $5,000 every single month, I got these drops already done. Now, how can I start increasing the volume, the regularity, and the depth within these drops so that this number goes up and up and up? Because working on these numbers and making them bigger every month is a lot easier if you don't have to focus on this anymore. And I think that the way that you prioritize, the way that you recognize that you can slowly expand your circle of knowledge, that you can, bring these numbers down, focus on this, focus on your lists of what your monthly bills are going to be, figuring out your goals, writing all of this stuff down. What does owning single family entail? What does that come with? Well, you got a bunch of tenants, you got, landscaping, you got roofing, you got all the different stuff. Well, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you go through and you say, hey, single family isn't for me. I've heard it's the easiest to start in, but you know what? That's not for me because I don't want tenants. I don't want this. And I want passive income. If I was flipping property, single family is great, but I'm holding passive income. I don't think that's passive enough for me. It's okay. You have to go through it. You might say, hey, listen, this little duplexes, quads, those aren't going to do it for me either. Still, you're in the same situation, roofs, tenants, whatever, not enough money to pay for management. So what I'm saying is you go through this and you lay everything out in front of you as much as you know. And you just slowly start adding pieces to it and adding pieces to it until you figure out what the picture looks like for you so that you don't become that 99% that failed because you just kept not really even having a plan or an idea of a plan or knowing what it is that you wanted or what you needed. If you needed this, figure all of it out. Map it out for you. Set yourself goals. Lay it out in front of you. If you have a partner, if you're married, if you got a girlfriend, a boyfriend, older kids, whatever it is, younger kids, talk to everybody about what this is. And some people will understand, some people won't, but it's important to let others know at least what you're doing. Maybe they don't have a way to participate. Maybe they don't have a way to help you. Maybe they don't have anything that they feel that they can contribute. But if they can contribute some understanding of why you're going to be reading weird books and sitting, listen to audiobooks and trying to negotiate stuff on the phone. I was supposed to turn this on a long time ago. See, that would have made it so much better. I'm not even going to try now. The point is that I think that if you really set yourself up with an idea, a general sketch of your goals, you're going to be so much better off than if you just, I got it in my mind, I know where I want to go, because, I used to do that. And it's okay with short-term goals. It's okay with, I want to build a canoe or, let's put a teepee in the backyard for the kids. Something like that's fine. But big stuff like this, especially if you don't know anything about it, especially if you're just getting into it, you need to really try to lay out as much as you know, and then you'll be amazed how many pieces you can start filling in. Make it one of those like maps on the wall, like, in the movies where you got red twine going in between this and this and this, and circle that idea. No, this is no longer a viable option. That's what this is. This is your map. This is your detective work. This is you figuring out what it's going to take to get you to that point where you're at that 1% of people that can really succeed. And not only owning things, not just having that materialistic ownership of things in life, but the ownership of your own life. That's what the 1% really win at, above everything else. The 1% really win at owning their own life. They're not indebted to other people. They're not beholden to other people. They're not having to stress and spend time worrying because they've done what needs to be done to make themselves basically immune to any of that. And that's a great feeling. That's when you can start really blessing others because you yourself have been blessed. Be blessed yourself. Reach out if you need anything. that's my little shop talk for the day. I hope that you got something out of it. If you have any questions, if you want to give me some positive or negative feedback, either one, feel free to reach out. ReigUidService.com, ReiguideService.com, and see you later.